Here we are. Welcome in. It's another edition of the Stingers Up Sacramento State Football Podcast. By now, you can tell it's just a audio version of the podcast this week. We'll hopefully get back to video again next week. Coming up on today's version of the podcast, as you know, the Hornets have a bye week this week. Probably much needed after the disappointing game against Cal Poly. But we will talk about that game with the head coach, Brendan Marion. That's coming up in just a moment. And then we'll conclude the podcast with a visit with senior running back and one of the captains, Rodney Hammond, who came off his best game as a Hornet. We'll catch up with him to see the very latest of how he's feeling after the loss going into the bye week and what we can expect more from him as the year continues. But with that said, I want to reflect a little bit on the game last week. This really was kind of a self-inflicted wound, I would say, for the Hornets. A game that couldn't have started much better. The Hornets went right down the field, scored on the opening possession, looked really good in doing so, took the early lead. Then mistakes started to happen, whether it was turnovers and or penalties, and derailed them. I mean, they got down 18-7 to, I would say, a well-coached and just a up-for-the-challenge Cal Poly team. And the longer they stayed in it, the longer they felt confident that they could win. And it was an upset. The Hornets are a top 25 team, had played really well the previous 2 weeks, rolled up a bunch of points and offensive yards. And I was sure it was a team thinking they could do something they had never done before in school history when they've had 3 consecutive games in 3 weeks in a row at home to win them all. They'd never done that, and that opportunity was in front of them after winning the first 2. But down 18-7, the Hornets then quickly responded with back-to-back scores. You're thinking, okay, they've kind of reestablished themselves. They're going to figure this one out and get the victory, but it was not to be. And like I said, Cal Poly took advantage of mistakes by the Hornets, whether it was turnovers, missed tackles, penalties. There was a scary situation in which Troy Bean, a linebacker for Cal Poly, was injured, and there was a lengthy delay. Last I had checked earlier in the week from a couple different people from Cal Poly, all things were pointing in a positive direction for Troy Bean, so that certainly is good. That was a very scary situation when he was lying motionless on the field. Ultimately had to be carted off and taken to the hospital. They did all the tests and observations, and everything kind of looked promising going forward with movement and fully aware and all that kind of stuff. So wish him nothing but the best. But as far as the game went after that, Hornets had a touchdown that was called back. Yet another one this season. So the Hornets have had several of those this year, and penalties have been a problem. Mistakes in this game were a problem. And it just always felt like they were going to find a way to win, and it just didn't happen. So if you're looking at the big picture for Sacramento State, this is a team that has huge expectations. They have still some of those goals they can reach, but they've made this much more difficult. That's the reality of the situation. I thought if you were looking at the season in different chunks, in my mind, I thought they needed to be 2-2 after 4 games. They checked that box, though I think there was a good case for them being 3-1. Then when you got to Big Sky play, there's no gimmies. I think we all need to know that. I think we're all aware of that. But if you're thinking about the big picture, I thought there were opportunities to possibly beat Cal Poly, to possibly beat Weber, to possibly beat Eastern, to possibly beat Northern Colorado, and you kind of end Portland State. And if they did that, that's 5 more victories. That would get them to 7. I don't know that 7 would be enough. I think they would need 8. So then you got the 3 other games. This is what I was thinking before Big Sky started. Keep in mind, Idaho, Montana, and UC Davis. All ranked teams. All would be a quality win. All will be difficult, but all are possible. They would probably need to win one of the 3. So now you've changed the math. That's what's happened by losing to Cal Poly. Now you're likely going to have to win 2 of those games. You've got to make sure you win those others. And none of those can be taken for granted. I don't think the team took Cal Poly for granted. I think their own mistakes did them in. But that's my opinion. That's my thought. Let's get a little more on what everyone else thought. I'm going to start with a conversation I had with Brendan Marion about that game and about the bye week and how the Hornets are looking going forward.
Yeah, I like the process of where our team is at from the standpoint of, the results haven't been exactly where we want them to be, but I think the process that we've put in place for our players, the habits, the consistency that they have, has gave us opportunities to go win games. I mean, we're 2 called back touchdowns away from being 4-1 right now. Obviously, we can't go back and change that. We just have to play a cleaner brand of football. This week, we got a chance to self-scout, look at penalties, look at things that hurt us on drives, ball security, and tweak some things to be better throughout the rest of the season.
When you're doing that self-scout, what are you learning in regards to the penalties? What can be cleaned up to make you guys better?
Yeah, well, we have to take care of the ones that we can control. Like, we can control our pre-snap penalties and our post-snap penalties, with, a couple taunting calls, a couple, false starts, things like that. We can't really control all the, apologies that we've been sent, or sorry, coach, we made the wrong call, or, commissioners from other conferences telling us that they made the wrong call or whatever. We can't control that. All we can do is control the stuff that we can control, and that's really been our focus this week to number one, to take care of the football, to number two, take the football away from opposing teams and be better in zone coverage. Mm-hmm. We've been hurt a little bit when we've had to play man, and some big runs have been exposed for us, but those are things that, we have to do a better job as coaches to put our guys in better situations, but we just need to clean up our discipline on the pre-snap and post-snap penalties.
You're talking about the turnovers. Was there a constant theme or something when you watched the film that led to those 3 first-half picks last week?
No, I just think that, like on one of them it was a route detail from a receiver. He was in a spot that the quarterback didn't expect him to be in. And then they just had a guy who fell in to a great play. I mean, he just made kind of a lucky play. He was not that was not his assignment. He just folded back, and when the receiver ran his route the wrong way, he was in the right spot and made a play, and ultimately took it to the house. Which quarterbacks are going to have interceptions, but you don't want them to result into touchdowns, obviously. And then the other two, really, the quarterback, just struggled from the standpoint of there's a guy in his face. He needs to just maintain possession of the ball and not try to, throw the ball up. And then the other one that we had in the 2-minute drill, our guy was wide open and our quarterback's mechanics just kind of broke down and he made a flat throw. He needs to just throw that over the top and we walk into the end zone. I mean, there was nobody back there. He just threw the ball flat and his, kind of had a mechanical breakdown from that standpoint. So, ultimately it sucks when that happens, but I've been on teams where, I coached Kenny Pickett a couple years ago. He threw 4 picks in a game and we still won the game because the defense got 3 takeaways. So we've been harping on our team to play complementary football and understand that if we happen to turn the ball over on offense, which could happen. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a realistic thing in football. If that does happen, defense or special teams, somebody has to go make a play and get the ball back or, take a possession away from the opposing offense. So I think our guys understand that a little bit more now. And, when they really get a chance to sit down, watch the film, and hear the coaches really keep breaking it down to them in simplest form, I think our team really understands what we need to go do.
So if you go back to the Pitt days with Kenny Pickett or this last week with Cardell, where do you, when you're talking to them, are you trying to build their confidence back up, teaching mechanics, going through the film? Like, how do you approach that when someone maybe had some struggles, but you're still going to need a lot more from them when you go forward?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Cardell, for 2 games straight, put up close to 50 points and was pretty much perfect, playing at a really, really high level. And then when he came in the Reno game, he played at a really, really high level. And same thing there in the Reno game. He gets hit. That one was a little different. He gets hit, the ball comes out, and that one was unfortunate. But these ones kind of were more in his control because he did not get hit. It was more so him with the error. But you have to let a guy know that, and real coaching and parenting is, you don't give up on somebody because they make a mistake. We don't want a kid to play scared to make a mistake. We want him to play with great confidence. Just some of the things that he needs to understand is, there was a time in the game where we ran a route and it wasn't open. He took off and he ran for an easy touchdown. Cardell is a 21 miles per hour athlete. He can really run. He's probably top 5 fastest guys on our team. You don't have to throw the ball just because it's a pass play. You can just take off and hurt other teams with your legs. And, so I think just him seeing that, him understanding that, he'll move forward and be better. Anytime with all the quarterbacks that I've coached in the past, it's just a part of the game. I mean, unfortunately, to say you're going to throw the ball and never have an interception is not a realistic thing,
And I would think as a player, and you played, like to have that freedom to know, hey, my coach said if the running availability is there, go do it. That's got to be a nice freedom for him.
Yeah, absolutely. We say that's why we say we don't want you to be a quarterback. We want you to be a point guard in our offense. We just want you to make the right play. Sometimes the right play is you taking the ball, tucking the ball down, and going to run. It's not always just because it's a drop back pass does not mean that you have to pass the ball. It just means moving your team down the field and helping us score points. And so I think in some of those situations he started to press a little bit where he could have just took off and used his legs. And, he did that in the 2 prior games, and we had a whole bunch of big plays because of his legs. And he has the type of legs where I know defensive coordinators don't want to see number 7 out there because he can tuck the ball down and run. They have to account for him. So
in your final analysis of that game, does it feel like that was one that you guys let get away, that you kind of gave, in a sense, to Cal Poly? I mean, they played their way, they played hard, but your mistakes and the penalties really seem to do the damage.
Yeah, I always say, officials don't turn the ball over. We can't blame anybody but ourselves for having turnovers. Those are critical errors that ultimately will cost you the game. Every game that all I talk about to the offense is 100% ball security. Make sure we take care of the ball, and we'll do what we need to do. Yeah. There was definitely opportunity for us there to go score. I think our defense, we put them in a lot of bad spots with the turnovers early, so we spotted them, basically 21 points. Mm-hmm. And they ended up scoring 32, so our defense really gave up, that deal there. So that was tough, but I thought our defense at times too, there was easy plays for us to make. We dropped 2 picks right in our hands. We have got to make those easy plays. Guys have got to make plays that we put in position and situations to go make those plays. And then we gave up a big explosive play on a hitch on a 3rd and 5. And our DB's backpedaling on 3rd and 5. We lead the country in sacks. The D-line is going to get there if you just have a little bit of sticky coverage, stay on the guy for, not even 2 seconds. You just need you to be on them, right? And our D-line will get there. So I thought as a whole we kind of just didn't overcome adversity like we had the 3 weeks prior. I thought in the 3 weeks prior, anytime adversity struck, we responded quickly. And even in that game, I think we got down 18-7, and we responded quick, 21-18, and then boom, we let them score, and it was and we let them score on a 3rd and 5 hitch, it was just bad football from that standpoint. But I think that sometimes is guys were riding high off the 2 victories, and with a young team, they think oh man, we're good now, and I really. That's why I was so hard on the guys about the wins is because, you don't want to have relief syndrome. Yeah. And I feel like they took their foot off the gas just a little bit, which opened up the door for Cal Poly. And then, ultimately it is hard to win in college football already. It's even harder when there's subjective calls out there. It's even harder to win. So we have to do a better job of overcoming adversity, but we also have to do a better job of not putting ourselves in bad situations, right? We score 40 or close to 50 with really no offensive errors the 2 games prior. That's because we took care of the ball, right? So if we take care of the ball, I think we'll be fine the rest of the season. We just have to make sure that if we do turn it over once, we don't turn it over again.
Yeah. As far as I know, when we talked at the beginning, incorporating 70-plus players is really difficult to do. Does it feel like it's starting to gel, starting to get to where you want it to be as far as the back half of the season?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the greatest thing that we did is we treated every player like they have to be a player for us. Mm-hmm. And we didn't say, okay, this guy's this guy and this you're over here. We didn't really separate the work, or we have a next man up mentality. We've been hit with the injury bug and the some transfers aren't eligible bug, mm-hmm. For whatever reason, because whatever has been, made up out there for them to not be eligible. So we've had guys that, NFL teams are here to see not be out there on the field, and the NFL teams keep coming to see them and waiting for them to be on the field, and they haven't had an opportunity to play. But we've had young guys step up and make big plays for us and, in critical situations and step up and get those reps. So I'm proud of our guys for – one, not breaking in in adversity. We've had 4 ACLs, I think, guys out for the year. We've had a lot of different things that have happened this season, and not one person this week said that they wanted to transfer, redshirt, quit on the team. Every single guy's been trying to get healthy, do everything right, and wants to. Every player's like, we got to win out, coach. We got to get this done. We got you, coach. Like, that's the type of culture that you want to create. I really believe in our process and what our coaches and the administration here have done from the standpoint of we have really good people, really good players that want to see this thing be right.
Yeah. So this week is a self-scout week. Then is it kind of right back into the rhythm next week for Weber?
Yeah, absolutely. This week we practiced. We got a couple good practices in and got some walkthroughs in, got some practices from the standpoint of making sure that we keep the guys fresh. We didn't get them banged up. We got some lifting in, some running. So we worked really hard this week, and then, give the guys 2 days off here to go see their family real quick to reset and just understand like the gratitude it takes to do this game at a high level every day. And then we'll get back here to work on Monday and get ready to roll for Weber.
How do you reset?
I'm going to coach my son's flag football game on Saturday, and be a good husband, take my wife somewhere, take her to eat, and just make sure my daughter's been here this week, taking care of my daughter and having her out there at practice. Really, for me, it's just your win, lose, or draw people that love you regardless of your performance. And then, just making sure that you look at every single thing, top to bottom, to make sure you have great performances when we get back out there.
How do you coach your son? Are you more coach or are you dad when he's playing?
Well, he plays quarterback and receiver. Receiver's really natural for him. I don't know how that happened, but at receiver, I don't really coach him. At quarterback, I just tell him to throw it to the guys with the same color jersey on as you and, make plays. So he does his thing, and it's just always a good time to, watch your kid play.
Yeah. Well, enjoy your time, and good luck next week.
Thank you.
From Coach Marion, we transition to senior running back Rodney Hammond, who had his best game as a Hornet. Want to get to know him a little bit better, and Hornet fans what they can expect. So I had a chance as well earlier to chat with senior running back Rodney Hammond. Let's first start off with kind of how you got to Sacramento State. I know you're at Pitt and grew up in Virginia, but how did ultimately the Hornets land you?
The strong relationship me and Coach Marion got, we built a very strong relationship at Pitt. So that's all it really took. I'd rather go with somebody I trust than just going with a stranger. So,
what was it about him and you that bonded back at Pitt that helped bring you here?
He always made me feel like family. Like, no matter what, like, he always wanted me to play. He did whatever so I could get on the field. So he stepped on the table for me. So that's why I'm here.
So you were following him no matter where he went?
No matter where he went. Because when he told me, I was like, man, I don't know. But I came to visit. I ain't never been to California, so that was another thing, too. Yeah. So
this was your first visit to California with Sacramento?
My first visit ever.
Okay, so you've been here now a little while. What are your thoughts?
It's different. I can't get right with the time thing, like the time difference, but it's cool, though. I like it.
So what are some of the differences as someone that grew up in California? I've been here my whole life. What's different to Pitt, to Virginia, to the East Coast?
The way the food tastes.
Are you going to say it's worse here?
Yeah, it's kind of worse.
All right. So what do you?
I gotta find some new spots. Somebody got to tell me some spots.
Okay. So what's the kind of food that we can hook you up with? What are you missing? What do we not have here for you?
I ain't really had the chance to go see what good Mexican restaurants they got. I like Mexican food.
Oh well, California's good for that.
Yeah, I never had no good Mexican food out here, so that's what it is.
Anything else? I'm trying to think. Virginia, what is that like? Do you have like crab and stuff?
Yeah, we got all that.
Yeah, you have a different kind of crab out there. So yeah, okay, that I'll say is missing.
Yeah,
but
seafood good too.
Yeah. What else? Anything else you miss from back east?
No, not for real. Just the time. Yeah. The time thing. The days out here feel so long. So
really,
yeah.
Well, you were lucky when you came here. I mean, it wasn't that hot of a summer. Even though it's hot, you got to like that there's no humidity, right?
Yeah, it's not. I'm not gonna lie. It get hot sometimes, but it don't be too crazy though. I like it though. It's perfect.
Okay. How about let's go to your background. You grew up in Virginia, right?
Yes,
so what was that like growing up, and what did you kind of know? Like, hey, I'm pretty good. I can take this to the college level.
When I was a kid, I was just always the one that was like very good. Like I was that nice little kid that they always used to try to like play on the team, but I never wanted to play on the team.
Oh, really?
I just rather play outside. So then I end up going to play with the team, and it just ever since then I became that guy.
Always a running back?
Always a running back and linebacker too. I like defense too. So
do you miss that at all?
I miss defense.
Yeah? I
like hitting, so yeah, I miss defense.
You're not talking to Coach Patton about like, hey, can I get a few hits on that side?
I mean, no, but I could play it though. if he need me, I promise I could play it.
Yeah. What's your favorite part about being a running? Because you catch the ball, you block, you run, you return. Like what's like a perfect day? What's your favorite part about football?
For me, honestly, is being able to lead like a whole group of guys, like leading everybody and making sure everybody doing the correct thing, making sure everybody going down the right path. I like stuff like that. So being a leader, I'm not gonna lie. So that's why I love coming here every day.
Where'd you get that from?
I don't think I really got it from nobody. I think it was just
it's in you.
It's just in me. I'm just natural with it. So I just like to bring people along. I like to see everybody win. So
So the team voted you as a captain. Obviously, your first year here, you made an impact in that. They've noticed that's an area you succeed in. What does that look like to you in a practice, in the weight room, on the bus, hotel, plane, on the field? What do you feel like you've done when you've done some leading? What does that look like?
I can't explain what it feel like I've done, but I just know I do know. I know they believe in me, so I gotta always do stuff right. I can never get caught slipping, so I'm always do stuff right, so I can lead by example. I got younger guys I can't see, let them see me doing something bad, and then they could feel like, oh, they could do this too. So I do whatever I can to be perfect, if I can be.
Do you find yourself maybe getting a guy one-on-one? Do you get the running back room and kind of preach to that? Like, how do you enforce that? Or more by example, like you said?
I talk to everybody as a group, but I definitely talk to everybody one by one. So I feel like I got a strong relationship with everybody. I probably don't talk to every single person on the team one-on-one.
That's good.
And I'm not going to lie. I could say people like the conversations I have because, I'm always encourage you to keep going. So it's one of those things.
You grew up, I think, 4 siblings? You have a big family?
4.
4 others? How was that?
5.
How was that?
It's cool. It's cool. But being the youngest, you know how that is. But being the youngest is kind of it's fun, but
Did they pick on you?
Nah, ain't nobody picking on me.
No.
I don't get picked on. That ain't gonna happen.
That never happened as a kid?
Nah. I was never the one to get picked on. That ain't gonna happen.
That's good. As far as this season still goes, a lot of football left. This last week was a tough one that got away from you guys. What do you still think this group, because there's so many new guys, what do you think this group can still do?
I feel like we still could win. Everything we want still in front of us. Actually, my first year at Pitt, it started the same. I ain't gonna say it started like this, but we lost to a team we shouldn't have lost to. You feel me? We took some losses that we shouldn't have lost, and after that, we just battled back, and it was just we won us a championship. So that's why I still feel like the same thing is gonna happen here.
Yeah.
My first year, my last year, same thing gonna happen. I'm not worried. I'm not stressing. I'm not nothing.
Good.
I know what's going on. So.
Yeah. At Pitt, you had a lot of success. You were their leading rusher. You're a bowl game MVP. What's similarities? Is it like FBS football here at Sac State? You guys have a lot of talent here. What's it like now that you've made that transition?
It's different. I can't say it's just way different playing on the field. I can't really describe it, but I mean it's still football. It's still good football. There's a lot of good players out here, but.
Is it the stadiums are different? Stadium size for sure?
Yeah, the stadium size definitely.
Yeah.
The fans is not the same, but I don't care if nobody out there.
Football.
It's football.
Yeah.
As long as that football on the field, I don't care. It could be nobody. It could be me and 11 other people.
Yeah.
I'm cool.
You're playing.
I'm playing.
How about at school? What are you studying here at Sac State?
Communications.
Okay. Oh, you gonna take my job someday?
Oh,
Maybe. Probably.
if you don't step it up, I mean, you don't keep going. You ain't on your feet. I might have to.
Do you have goals as far as that down the line? What you'd like to do post football?
Nah, not right now.
Yeah.
See, when I'm in football, I only think football. So I don't even want to think about what's gonna happen after this. I just want to get this step going first. So.
Yeah, but you want to play more football though after Sac State, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What do you think that will take? I'm sure there'll be a pro day down the line and all that kind of stuff. Do you feel like you're getting enough inclination that you can keep going after this?
Yes, I definitely do. I could say what it's going to really take is what y'all finna see these next couple games. It's finna be crazy. Mm-hmm. So, y'all just watch the next couple games. Y'all going to see why.
Well, you were having a really big game. You had your best game as a Hornet. Of course, one got called back. Yeah, 2, you're right. But the big one, that was the long touchdown. How can you describe that feeling? Because I got to feel like once you break free and you know you're gone, there's probably no feeling like that nobody's going to catch you. But then when you turn around, you're like, oh, there's a marker. It's coming back. How that emotional swing, what's that like?
It is. I'm not going to lie. you definitely feel some heartbreak. You be like, oh Lord, like I just had this long run and got to get called back, but you got to lock back in. Like the game's still going, so I mean
that can't be easy.
It ain't. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. So what happened was when it got called back, I'm in my head like, oh Lord, like I might not get a chance like this again this game. So after that, I just looked at the clock, man. It's still time. We still down. I gotta go. So I let it go after probably a play or two. So I don't like to keep thinking about the same thing over and over because it's gonna make me mad. So yeah.
I know in the game there was a scary moment. You were really in some serious pain. Everything all good there?
Yeah, it was just a little stinger. If you play football, you had a stinger, but a little stinger. It wasn't nothing bad.
Yeah. It's going to take a lot to take you off the field, isn't it?
For sure. Yeah. For sure. I don't know how y'all going to get me off the field, but I ain't going off the field.
How about the personal challenge? Not personal challenge. You guys are all teammates, but you got a lot of good running backs. So are you, I don't know if comfortable is the word, but some days maybe Damian's cooking or Jamar or you or, all the different guys you have. How is that balancing kind of your own success along with the team success?
I feel like we got so many running backs that could do so many different things. So that's always good. And I'm a running back, like I always believed in, like, feed the hot hand. So if he hot, get him the ball. Let him keep working. If it ain't my day, it ain't my day. You give me the ball, I'm gonna work. But I believe in feed the hot hand. So like, it's never no bad energy between nobody in my room. If one person is getting the ball more than one person, that's how that's how I came up. That's how I was taught. So I don't really care about that. I just want everybody around me to eat, and like we like a family. So like that's my little brothers. I want my little brothers to do good. So
do you sense early in the game you're like, I got it today? Like for something you just feel better, just everything lines up better. Has that ever happened for you?
No, when it's game, I mean, any game I feel like gonna be my game. You give me the ball, it's gonna be my game. I'm telling you. If I touch the ball a decent amount of times, it's gonna be my game. Yeah. So, but either way, though, I'm gonna impact the game some way, somehow. If it ain't on offense, it's gonna be on special teams some way. I'm gonna figure it out.
So I'm sure there's a possibility of it. Is there a day ahead that you're gonna have a kick return, a receiving touchdown, a running touchdown? You got out all a throwing touchdown. We've seen you kind of do everything.
Yeah, it might be next game. Just got to watch and see. It might be next game.
Yeah. All right, lastly for you, we appreciate you joining us. What are some of your own personal goals just kind of for the rest of this season?
Personal. I take winning personal. So I want to win the rest of the games this season. I don't want to lose to nobody else. And I just want y'all to watch on these Saturdays and see how it's going to go. So it's going to be a long season. It's going to be a good season, too.
Well, we're looking forward to it. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being out here. We'll get you some good Mexican food. Right. Someone get Rodney some good Mexican food.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
My thanks to Rodney. My thanks to Coach. My thanks to all of you who checked out this week's podcast. We'll be back again next week. Remember, bye week this week. Hornets are going to spend some time, as you heard, with their families, get themselves right, get their bodies right, their minds right, and really, they got to finish. They got to get cooking here. They know it, and not a lot of margin for error left. And so hopefully these lessons they've learned in the first 5 can carry them going forward. Rodney Hammond's optimistic about a lot of things going forward. Coach Marion seems optimistic. Now they got to prove it on the field, and we'll see next week when they take on Weber. But thanks again to everyone listening. We appreciate you joining us for another edition of the Stingers Up Sacramento State Football Podcast.